Good morning, Scorpio. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. I'm doing your September Love Tarot reading, so we're going to look at what goes on for you. I'm mainly reading for people that have someone in mind. So the message, depending on the cards, will maybe address people that are already involved, but if that's the case, I'll also try to do a separate message for singles. If not, we'll just, work this through. So thank you for liking the video, sharing, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't. So let's jump in. I'm starting with a major arcana for you. This is the overall energy, what's happening for you. Two cards came out. So the first one is the Ark, which is Temperance. And the other one is the House, which is the Magician. So it's an interesting energy because of the idea that there's something that could be very meaningful to you in terms of wanting to communicate something to someone, and yet having to pace yourself, wait, maybe even do that or do so. So establish that communication. I feel that you're going to have to gauge and adjust to whatever you put out there, and depending on what comes back, I think you will always have to manage that. So let's see what that really means and how that really translates in this particular love connection. So let me start with an oracle and see what is truly happening in love for you, besides what we've already said. I feel that you want to, also with the Magician energy, this communication or what you have to say, what it is that you're adjusting to as well, depending on this person's response to you, pertains to something that you are, how can I put it? You want to be in charge. You're the leader here. There's something that's, you're not really relinquishing the lead. Definitely not. Okay, this speaks of benevolence, respect and loyalty, or mainly fidelity. So being faithful, truly. Those are French keywords. So this is something that you are, the communication that you are establishing with this person has to be respectful. It has to be benevolent. So it has to come from the heart. There's something very important here about the quality of your communication and the exchange, mainly between you and this person. So we're going to right away look at what you guys are saying to one another. The things that are obviously being in the shadows, they won't necessarily be easy, but we need to address this because on top of it, your reading speaks of communications and of adjusting to the other person, to the relationship in general, making tweaks. So the first card out is, I focused on you instead of my pain. I fear that you will reject me. We're going to pull a few and then I'll comment. The other one is, I am different now. Okay, let's stop there. So you really have it's a beautiful sort of logical sequence here where someone is, I think it's you. I think you're sharing with this person, or this person could be sharing with you. I think it's you, okay? Let me interpret it as you, and then if you want to reverse the roles, then you may, of course, as always. I think that this is something that you are sort of admitting to a form of codependency to this person. I think you're putting a lot of energy on, like, you're emitting a lot of energy and sending a lot of energy to this person. So you're doing that in a way that you're not focusing on things that matter to you. Here it speaks of pain, so there's something that you need to work on, shadow wise, or residual wise, however you want to put it. But it could be in a more general sense, it could be that you're just being distracted because you're so invested in this relationship, in particular in this person. And the other thing is, a lot of the communication that I see you're sending out, and or this energy that you're sending out as well towards this person, a lot of it, obviously there's a lot of it is, I think it's positive, but you're also projecting some of your fears here. So be careful of what it is that you're sending out, really, in terms of signal, because you might be thinking that you're only sending out a signal of, I really care for you, etc. But this codependency, and I think there's sort of a little bit of a fear here of being alone, and it comes through as a little bit of a desperate, like desperation, like it's a desperate energy. Especially when it comes to, like, you feel there's a particular, you're very insistent about fidelity. So there's something about wanting to be exclusive that is extremely important to you, that sticks out a lot, that is very strong here. But there's a lot of the things that you're saying to this person that have to do with, you're insisting and you're trying to be convincing about the fact that you've changed, that you're not so codependent anymore, that you might feel like you might be more solid when it comes to your fear of being abandoned. You've done a lot of healing, but you've also been distracted from your healing. So I don't know if you're fully ready, and I think that's why Temperance is there. I think you need to heal some more. I think that even if you're very convincing, you're not ready. Ultimately, you're not ready. So let's look at the oracle here. Let's see what this says, just to give us a new direction for this interpretation of what's going on for you. Because what else happens, basically? Let's see what else happens. This is called the Joker, and it speaks of intuition. It's a beautiful energy here. There's something that's, I think it has to do, for me, in this particular instance, the intuition is this electricity. It's the energy that is circulating between the two of you. I think you could say that you are both sort of connected, so much so that when you think about one another, you might feel like it's telepathic, because this is an antenna, right? So you really, really feel connected. And also your communication is, a lot of it is filtered through your intuition. So even whatever is being discussed and said, you're reading between the lines constantly. Let's see what else. It speaks of, this is the staircase or the stairs, and it speaks of choice. This is a verb. It says to choose, literally. I like the fact that there's a choice here. So we're going to be able to work with this keyword, because I think I want to see what it is that you're choosing, or that you need to choose from, or what it means in this context. It could refer back to this idea of fidelity, right? Maybe there's something that you fear particularly about, having someone betray you and eventually go off with someone else. And maybe you're asking this person to choose between you and someone else. I don't think that you're the one choosing here. I think that this person needs to choose you, and you're trying to be convincing about them choosing you. This is really how I feel this reading is saying, or what it wants to tell you, really. Temperance, again, the guide in this case. So you're being guided by your intuition, by the way. So again, a lot more healing needs to happen. You might literally have someone helping you out here when it comes to this connection. We see it here as well. Maybe someone is helping you, because Temperance came out besides the Magician. So it could be that as much as you're trying to influence this person to choose you, because you're different now, and you've worked on your codependency, you've worked on your fear of abandonment. I think you're also communicating with someone that helps you heal, and that is separate from the person that you want to be with, right? It's definitely being an angel, right? The Temperance is an angel, so it's definitely, and being intuition based. You could speak of your guides, you could speak of something intangible. It could be obviously like a doctor, a psychologist, excuse me, psychiatrist for some. Doesn't matter really. It could be obviously 3D, but it could be 5D as well. The Page of Rods is in the reverse, so the guide is helping you choose, because you're not very... there are moments where you're not communicating. And or if it's the choice that this other person has to make about you, some of the guidance is not to insist so much. It's interesting. I feel like you're being guided to act energetically speaking more than necessarily communicate verbally, but there's an emphasis on connecting telepathically, or at least energetically speaking. Almost as if you were to speak it, it might come through as being desperate, which I was picking up before. Interesting. Let's keep pulling. The Nine of Rods in the reverse. You're not ready. It's saying it again, but now I see it as it's more precise for me. The Nine of Rods tells me that you feel like not so great. You're having a hard time even feeling comfortable in your body. I feel like you're a little bit on the low side when it comes to your own vitality. Like you're sort of, you know, like you're, the biorhythm, right? If you were to look at that, you'd see that you're on the low of the curve in September, or you'll have the impression that physically you're not at your best, okay? You're not at your worst, but you're not at your best either. Let's see how you're let's see if you're being chosen. I mean, somehow in September, from what the message is saying so far, you're working very hard at convincing someone, mainly energetically speaking. You're sending energies where it's like opening up a dialogue, but in the 5D with this person. Having the Temperance twice, you could be doing this through meditation, using your intuition, feeling out, you know, using moments of relaxation as well to do that, to sort of send out your thoughts and your feelings towards this person, because you're really wanting them to choose you. I feel you're being helped. You seem to have like your guides or one guide present to help you in the 5D. But it seems also like your guide is pointing back to the reality of how you're feeling and showing you that you're not fully ready. So it's almost telling you that you might not want the person to choose you right away, because ultimately it's not the right time. There needs to be more time. Something needs to, I'm gonna say heal, but ultimately the timing is not there. These cards want to come out. Let's see what they say, how they tie in. Thought. I can't make this up. Number 18, which would be like the moon, but this oracle is not necessarily correspondent, or doesn't correspond directly to the tarot, but thought. And then the King of Fire, which is so this would be the person that you're dealing with here. You're dealing with a King of Wands, so mainly Aries energy. Mainly Leo energy, but could be Aries and Sag. But I'm going to read to you the keywords for thoughts so that you gain some insight here. So the keywords are thought, reality, power, attention, focus, attraction, positivity, negativity, universal law. And the key phrases are: thought creates reality. Thought is the foundation of consciousness. So thought create reality is a magician energy. It's what you're working on. It's what you're being guided to do. It's also what you're being led, and you're also being supported as you create your reality. So that's why you're working mainly on the 5D with this person, right? Mainly. Anyways, thought is the foundation of consciousness. It says, don't rush your thinking, be certain. Thought is energy. Energy flows where attention goes. Be mindful of the universal laws. Are conscious and unconscious mind in accord? So that's a question for you. Be realistic instead of optimistic or pessimistic. A lot of the temperance, right? A lot of the polarities between positive, negative, conscious, unconscious, optimistic, pessimistic. And here says also good and bad go hand in hand, so also good and bad. Otherwise it says change your mind, change your life. Do not overthink or speculate, and question the critical mind speak. Or speech if you want. So be careful of what you think of. I think a lot of you're being asked to really work on using your imagination and creating your reality from your thoughts, out of your thoughts. Anyways, let me pull one card here. I'm curious to see how you show up in September. The King of Wands here, for me, the King of Fire is truly the person that you're interacting with. This is the person that you're thinking of. This is the sort of, I think that you're really looking at, you're scrying here on this drawing, and I think that it's because you're looking at this person, right? It's who you choose to envision and focus on. But let's see how you show up, because you show up as I've described you as tired and not ready and whatnot, but let's see how else you show up. You're the Magician. It speaks of inspiration and gratitude. So music could be really soothing to you. I love these words for you: intuition and inspiration. I think and gratitude. They're all amazing energies to work on your healing. They're really high vibe energies that will help you become ready, feel ready. I think what you're aiming for is to not just say or think that you're different. I think you want to feel different. And I think this is the only thing that you're missing here, or that's missing. You're close. So September is really a month where you're making strides. I feel that you're really, really putting a lot of work into yourself. And you're like a powerhouse when it comes to what it is that you're sending out in terms of your desires, when it comes to this person and wanting this person to choose you. And you ultimately, I think you want this person to sense that you're different, and eventually that you're truly ready. But I don't sense that you're ready in September. I think that will come. It's close, but it's not September per se. So that's what I have for you. I hope something resonates in the reading. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Oh, you know what? I did say I was going to do maybe a quick reading for singles. So let me do that quickly. Because this is definitely for someone, well, it's kind of for someone that's single. But it's someone that you have someone in mind here. This reading was for people that are, are dead set on someone. So let me do a very quick reading for you singles. I will pull a love oracle. I'll make it very quick. Let's see what happens for singles. It speaks of efforts, fatigue, and being sort of demotivated. So that's a little bit of the Nine of Wands energy that we just pulled for on the first read, on the first spread. So you seem to be a little bit in that energy yourself, singles. Let's see who you meet, if anyone. These ones. So the Seven of Wands, you're very sort of guarded here. The Tower's in the reverse with the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so you're not very receptive to new people coming into your life. You have this tendency to think the worst, that it's going to be a catastrophe, that it's going to bring you pain, that it's going to, be much more of it's going to create difficulties in your life. I feel that you're wanting to get out of this mindset, but you're having a really hard time. I also feel that you abandon quickly. You have no motivation. You're not pushing through in any way and in any form and towards anyone. So in terms of wanting something for your love life, singles, it's going to be very difficult for you to meet someone in this mind frame. It's really challenging you. I mean, I'm looking to see if anyone's going to show up in your life, but it's pointing back to you about you're having a very, very pessimistic mindset here. And you're not really taking any actions to change things. You know, you're sort of in your ivory tower. Let me pull you one oracle and see. Okay. It speaks of the feeling of belonging, and it speaks of the clan. So I think that that is a huge, and it's a 9 here. Makes me think of, again, because I'm associating this energy with both 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands energy, sort of. So the feeling of belonging is very important for you here. I think that you could feel separate, you could feel different, you have a hard time connecting with people. You might be surrounded with people and yet feel like you're a loner, feel like you're the, you know, the black sheep. In love, maybe you're hoping to meet someone within your circle of friends, but you're not even connecting with these people. I feel that you're sort of shying away from the rest of the people. You're pushing everyone away with the 7 of Wands. And yet you stick with the clan. You're part of that group, but it's really not a comfortable situation. I even feel like, as much as belonging and feeling like you're supported should bring you a sense of stability, but you don't feel that. On the contrary, I think you're feeling things to be very shaky for you. But I want to point out that you're shaky yourself, right? It could be because you're so tired. It could be because you abandon so quickly. You know, you're the one that I think you're aware enough to see where or how you are giving up on yourself, first and foremost. So you can't really blame others here at all for the fact that you're single still. Anyways, guys, hopefully something resonated in the reading overall for you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. I really appreciate that. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.